Hello, students. Today we're going to talk about a super cool debugging technique called the rubber ducky debugger. Now, before you start wondering if we're talking about real rubber ducks, let me explain. The rubber ducky debugger is actually a method used to help you figure out what's wrong with your code. It sounds a bit funny, but it's a trick that many programmers use to find and fix mistakes in their code. And no, you don't need a real rubber ducky to do it. Just the idea of one. Here's how it works. Imagine you have a rubber ducky sitting next to you on your desk, or really, any object that won't judge you. Now, when you're stuck on a coding problem and can't figure out why your code isn't working, you start explaining your code out loud to that rubber ducky. You explain exactly what each part of the code is doing step by step. The funny thing is, as you explain your code, you're actually helping your brain understand it better. When you have to talk through the steps, you might spot the problem that you missed before. It's like being your own teacher. Why does this work? Well, when you explain things out loud, you engage with the material more deeply. Sometimes, just the act of saying things out loud helps you realize where things went wrong. Maybe you missed a tiny syntax error or forgot to close a bracket. By explaining it, you're forcing yourself to slow down and really think about the logic. Now, here's the key. When you're stuck, it's not about solving the problem immediately. It's about taking a step back and looking at your code from a new perspective. The rubber ducky debugger gives you a way to break things down and see the issue in a simpler way. It's kind of like when you talk to a friend about a problem and suddenly, as you explain it, the solution comes to you. So the next time your code isn't working and you're stuck, grab a rubber ducky, or really anything around you, and explain your code to it. It may sound silly, but trust me, it works. It's one of those little tricks that can help you become a better coder. Remember, debugging is part of coding, and everyone makes mistakes. But with tools like the rubber ducky debugger, you'll be able to find and fix those bugs faster, and maybe even have a little fun along the way. Happy coding, and don't forget to talk to your rubber ducky.